my God, this is huge.
Yeah.
This has through spindle coolant?
Yeah. Look at the top's all open, right?
Is it bolted down?
No.
One and done, right? The whole thing?
Done, yeah.
Amazing. He constantly taunts me with the surface finishes that he gets. I don't want the thing to tip over.
No, it won't tip over. It's not a Matsura. Sorry, Phil.
Oh, that's fast. That is the weakest cycle start button I've ever seen in my life. Hi folks, welcome to Vancouver, Canada. I have the pleasure today of touring SSCADCAM with my good friend Amish Solanki. I love doing shop tours and factory tours. This one is a little bit different because I've gotten to know Amish pretty darn well. We first met at IMTS 2 years ago. Hey, what's going on, Amish?
What's going on?
Good to see you.
How you doing?
Good. What are you up to?
Exploring and exploring and exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know where to go next.
So if you guys don't know or don't follow, you got to sign up to his Instagram. You have your new machine showing up on there?
Machine showing up on Tuesday.
Maury NL.
DMG Maury DMU 65 monoblock.
Just a really good guy, runs a really dialed in shop. And let's give us a tour.
Awesome. Well, this is the shop. I've got two machines. Obviously the new the DMG monoblock here, and then I've got an old '99 VF7 house.
Yeah.
That we've had pretty much from the start when my dad started the shop. Started in 2000. He had it in another shop before starting his own shop here, and it still goes strong to this day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So your dad was a machinist and started the predecessor to this company or this actual shop?
He worked at a lot of big shops here.
Got it.
Probably about 3 or 4 larger shops before finally deciding to go off on his own. Yeah, and starting off, and he wanted to make sure he was doing something different. So he got a VF7 for his first machine. Not
interesting.
Not like a VF2 or a VF3. He wanted something bigger, and that kind of put him a bit on the map.
Yeah.
To be getting different type of work. So that's what we started off with, and then through the years we had an older VF2, the space capsule one, and then we had a VF4, and then I got rid of both of those to make space and capital for this.
We'll come back to this though in a second. What is the X travel on a VF7?
84 inches.
84 inches. Do you know what the Y is?
32.
32.
Yeah,
that is,
32,
that's more Y travel than some machines X travel.
Yeah, they're X travel. Yeah.
It's funny.
It's big. I mean, it's off right now, and it's not normally like this, but those are two 8-inch curved vices sideways. Now they're only sideways because I was gonna clean them and take them out, but there's a lot of space.
A lot of real estate.
There's a lot of space inside this machine.
Oh my God, this is huge.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
when you got stairs to climb up to your vertical machining center, you know you're at the next level.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, it's old and it's seen bumps and so forth, but I use it all the time. It holds really good tolerances. I mean, holding a thou from one side to another is not difficult as long as you know what you're doing with it. And
so it doesn't hold tense all day, though.
It does not hold tense all day. I've done some tight tolerance parts, but not all day. No, not even close. Yeah.
Wow.
But
this
yeah,
is an 8-inch Carve Smart. That's legit.
That was their first set.
Holy
I
cow.
believe I was their first customer, maybe one of the only ones. I don't think they even sell those
funny.
ones anymore, but it's great. I use that all the time. I really wish actually, I've got 3 sets of these 8-inch curved vices, and I wish I had 3 of those.
It's funny.
Cleaning it sucks. So that's the through coolant pump.
This has through spindle coolant? Damn.
Yeah. But look at the top's all open, right? Like it's mental. And it leaked years and years ago, so we never fixed it. But what I want to do with that is put it back in there, and I want to drill holes along the side and just put flush downs.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because honestly,
Wash it
it
down.
can take me an hour to clean this machine out. Like it takes a long.
Oh, it has the nitrogen assist on the Z column?
Yeah.
That's funny. Sorry,
The small machines don't?
none of them anymore. Well, so it's interesting because when I first met you, you were pouring the pad
For this
machine, and that kind of was tying into the same ethos. You mentioned your dad bought this because not everybody has an 84-inch X-Travel machine, so you can get access to do parts and work that other people can't do. And for you, I remember this was a big deal, right?
It still is a big deal when I think about it. I mean, still when I think that I've got one of these in my shop, it's like, yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
now I've had it for 2.5 years now, and I can't imagine not having this machine now.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine not having this machine, yeah.
It was your first 5-axis?
Yeah, it's one of the first 5-axis.
Oh. Whoa. What's the spindle taper?
HSK 63A.
Okay. A means dry dogs.
Yeah,
Okay, got it. And how many tools?
60 tools.
60 tools. Not a lot of empty pockets.
No.
And I'll tell you, if there's one thing I've learned, we just got our first 5-axis 3 months ago, and I would never, never, never go back. It has been absolutely amazing, complete rejuvenation of machining, making parts, the whole workflows, the process, and we've been fine having 40 tools in ours, but this has 60, and would you buy more next time
I would get
around?
more. I would get more.
Right?
Yeah, I would definitely get more. It sticks out. You can get 90 and then you can get 120, but just to have the tools in the machine, I would clearly get more for sure. Yeah,
Do these, with 120, do these machines tip over?
not tip over,
Okay,
no.
just checking. Rigidly held tap, and then you've got the synchro, the flex tap. Any reason why the little tap you have that and rigid on the big one?
These are a lot cheaper than these, that's for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
right?
sure.
And a lot of these call-outs, I've got stacks of them from the VF7, right? So
This is a mill chuck, or a call. There's nothing specific to tapping for this, or is there?
no, it just pops
Oh, it
right
is.
in.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, it looked like it was just a.
Yeah, no, it just pops right in. So,
But that doesn't offer any Z-axis flex.
I don't believe so. No, it's full rigid.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Those, and these will have micro adjustments inside.
Yeah, it's like 10 thou or something. A soak, a flex.
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it, anything.
yeah.
Got it. And so this is the big tool you're talking about. So that's a Sandvik 790 to here, and then it's an extension, and then that's the Capto
Yeah,
photo
so
right here.
there's 80, there's 120, and then 65.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, and it cuts good.
Yeah.
it was
What sort of
very-
feeds and speeds are you running that at?
I mean, I'm not doing big production, so I was running about 100 inches a minute, 50 thou depth of cuts with that particular one. 6,000 RPM.
6,000?
Maybe 6 or 8.
Yeah.
Maybe I think 8 when I was finishing, but 6 when I was roughing. I've got 2 inside the machine. There's a shorter one near.
Oh, really?
There's a shorter one near the back with bigger rads.
What's the max RPM on the monoblock?
20,000.
20,000.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fast. Well, I remember you mentioning, you're talking about when you first got this machine, that this machine was not only it's an amazing machine, but it was also the first one.
It's the only one in BC from what I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the only one in British Columbia. Yeah.
And so it has changed your work, customer base, and the jobs
Everything. Yeah. I mean, it's not that I like to say I'm saying no to work, but I'm getting work for this that I would probably say 90-95% of the shops here will not handle,
Yeah.
or will just walk away from.
Yeah.
So it's changed the work. Now the VF7 sits idle a little bit more, and this machine is almost all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So the same thing, just a shorter extension.
Yeah.
And those
Yeah.
are just steel extensions, and
And just as far as just for
That's
steel
cool.
extensions. So this tool, as you can see, it's battered up.
Yeah.
This one my dad's actually had for years. If I took one of these inserts off, there's no teeth left on it.
Oh, really?
There's no teeth. But I was
Oh,
running
the
that one
body
hard,
itself. It's funny.
and it's
Yeah.
it still cuts really well.
That's a modular head right here.
Yeah, that's their EF series by Sandvik.
Okay.
That's a Hamer body.
Oh, look
and
at
then,
that.
Yeah, Hamer shrink fit, and then that's 60 mil. It's the carbide body with the brazed on shank, and then the screw on.
But it's a screw-on tip, just this
Screw-on
little
tip, yep.
coated part. Got it.
Yeah. They're if you look. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. So that's amazing. They have to grind the threads then, huh? It
Yeah.
must, because that's all.
That's
everything
all
here is
carbide.
carbide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you got to
amazing.
when you turn it, you want to make sure you don't turn it too much because you'll start chipping it with
Okay.
with a tool.
Got it.
You just go until it sits, and then you're good to go.
It's been fun to get to know Amish, and like we talk a lot on WhatsApp. If you guys have heard me mention on the Business and Machining podcast, but one of the more recent true simultaneous 5-axis jobs that Amish has taken on are some pretty amazing solid steel impellers that are almost 2 feet in diameter. And the first one you did, you on your own decided to buy a piece of aluminum and just prove this out
Yeah.
before you started messing with the customer's supplied steel.
Yeah, it's learning a new program. I just used PowerMill for this particular job, and we're talking expensive parts. So I put into my costing to buy a piece of aluminum, and then from that do all the prototyping, all the testing on that one before going on to the steel parts. So
You normally work only in Autodesk or in Fusion 360?
100%.
Yeah, even on the DMG.
On the DMG ever since day one, just
awesome.
Fusion 360.
Cool.
Yeah.
Look at this.
So this one's not finished by any means.
Right.
Just 2 of the fins are finished. The rest is just semi-roughed out right now.
Oh my God.
But,
like, to give you a sense of the size of that part, I mean, we can't even, is it bolted down?
No. Just watch out, it's sharp. You will cut yourself.
Yeah, holy cow. That's insane.
So that came out of actually that aluminum slug, the bottom one there.
Oh my God.
That
They
came.
saw cut it?
Yeah, they actually saw cut this part here. So if you take a look at that, that's what it came out of.
So you bought this,
I bought
had somebody,
and the supplier cut it out.
okay.
And from,
That's crazy.
I mean, it looks, it's saw cut, and it's
Yeah.
within 16th tolerance. Like,
Yeah.
that's 11 inches thick. I don't know how they do that, but it's
Right.
pretty amazing. I've never got it before. That's the first time ever.
Got it.
Yeah.
So then how do you load, because in steel this has to weigh hundreds of pounds.
680
600
pounds. Yeah.
So how do you load it into your machine?
I designed this in Fusion,
Yeah.
and this is all the fixturing here. So that's the subplate that goes on the DMG.
So this mounts directly,
mounts-
to use the ball lock system.
Yeah, so that
Okay.
mounts directly to the table.
Yeah.
And then this part here mounts to the impeller. So the impeller actually comes upside down blanks. This is flipped over.
Got
and
it. So
it's
keyed
counterboard.
for- Yep.
Yeah, and it's keyed for there, and it's
Yeah.
counterboard underneath. So I bolt this onto that. And then I got to I have to flip this thing over
Yeah.
to put onto there. And I don't have an overhead crane, so I've only got forklift. So I made this thing here, which there's parts that they're bolts onto the side, and that's what lifts it up.
Yeah.
And it's center of mass, so literally with your pinky
So in
finger.
Fusion you just found the center.
Yeah, it's
and
like
then
one
design
click.
around
You
that.
just pick all your objects. You make sure you set their properties, so steel, aluminum. So
Oh,
I picked pretty much this, the impeller blanks, and
Yep.
the sidewalls that connect, and you just click center mass, and it gives you a point. And then that's where I designed the parts that fit on the side. Let me grab one. These mount on the two
Oh,
sides,
Sure.
and the center of this is the center of mass.
Yeah, right.
And so I come with this thing. We pick it up with a forklift. I do it on my own now. It's actually a very
You can just
very,
rotate it by hand?
Literally with a pinky finger, you can spin it.
awesome.
I put the UHMW Spalties on McMaster.
Yeah.
I designed it for it. They actually help quite a bit rather than having aluminum on aluminum.
Right.
That makes like a world of difference.
Yeah.
And so I can just spin it. I put holes here to put ball lock pins in case, but it doesn't move.
doesn't
It's
move
so
around.
perfect. It will hold there enough, and then I just drive it into the machine, and
Yeah. Love
and
that.
then just get it close enough for the 4 ball locks, and that holds it down.
And those 4 points are solid enough for that.
Yeah.
Because you're wailing on that thing. I mean, that's a lot of.
Yeah, it's removing 440 pounds of steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of steel removal. Yeah.
So this was like you do a lot of work and you run a lot of parts in your days, but this was a pretty high dollar job. How do you think about quoting that? Like, what's your advice when you think about?
It's a tough one. I think I'm still learning to this day. There's so many,
New
just
customer, new scope of work,
Yeah.
really, really high raw material cost.
yeah. I mean, you look at just this. This is a job alone. Just
Yeah.
building this fixturing. Like I get a 3D model for the part,
Yeah.
and they say go, but it's like, okay, well, how am I going to put it on the machine? How am I going to hold it? All this jazz, and so that's like this probably took a good week just to design it, to get the material, to make it. That's Mike 6 plate that I'm using.
Yep.
No one carries the ball locks here. I ordered this directly from Jurgens.
Yep.
I got them shipped overnight. So all of those were all machined on the VF7,
Oh, that's awesome. Okay,
and then I mounted this part onto there to do the side holds, and took it back off.
oh my God. Just
So
to
it's
do the 5
exactly. Yeah,
right,
it's,
right. So do you think about? Had you already quoted the job at that point?
Oh, yeah.
And so did you know what this was going to cost, or do you just have a swag number for fixturing and
Yeah.
tooling?
Yeah, just
Okay.
kind of
Got it.
throwing it out there. I mean, I did get a quick price on what Mike 6 is going to cost.
Yeah.
2x2 plates.
Yeah.
You know, a quick search online what Jergens and cost. The Jergens is expensive. It's not cheap.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, it was over $1,000.
$1,000 just for
those four Jergens.
Wow.
Like it's, you know, and it's not in the whole scheme of things, not a lot, but you start adding that up.
Sure.
It starts adding up a lot, and then we're not even talking about tooling yet, right?
Right.
We're just getting the part on the machine at this point.
Right.
That's the.
I think that's what's always hard because you're ultimately selling a machine product, but also a service. Like they want you because your ability to deliver the parts on time, accuracy on the right machine. Like there's a whole bunch of factors that come into it. So you don't want to underbid it, but you also don't want to bid it so high that they say, well, we would have liked to have worked with you, but we're going to go somewhere else, right?
Yeah, it's a tough thing, and Impellers, just from my knowledge, I mean, the only time I think most people see them is at trade shows.
Right.
It's like it's so rare to see them running in shops. I mean, even my sales rep who came, that I bought my DMG from, when he came and saw the Impellers running, saying, "You're running Impellers?" Yeah, like it was just like,
piece?
yeah.
Right. That's funny.
So
Pretty cool part.
It's a really neat part. I'll eventually put the aluminum one on and finish it.
Yeah.
At some point. I'm only halfway through this job right now, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the block on there right now?
This one here is, unfortunately, it's a part that's covered, from NDA, so I can't say exactly what it is right now.
It's a heck of a size block. I mean, is this normal for you though? That's huge. Piece of material.
No, it's a big piece.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 350 pounds, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can hold on to it with that little dovetail and two vices.
Yeah, it's you can see the dovetails right here.
And so do you do that on the VF7?
Yeah. So I picked this up, put on the VF7.
Yeah.
And it's maybe it's under 1/8. So it's 1.11, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's still scary. I'm like that. I mean, this customer came and saw this, and he goes, "That's how you're holding it." Like even for him, he was like, "We put bolts." Like that's how you're holding it.
Right.
And so I can get to all 5 sides of the part, and then this fixture also dovetailed is for the back side. It's counterboard again.
Yeah, clock.
And just grab from the bottom. It locates on 2 of the machine holes. Put it back in the dovetail, and
so you don't have to tear the vices off.
No,
that's nice.
Yeah,
between off one, off two.
Stuff. Yeah,
got it.
It's 3 parts, so I'm not. I'll pick everything up again, but it's not a whole. My shop's not too big. It's 1,800 square feet, so
it's by far the least amount of machines per square foot I've ever seen in a Canadian machine shop.
The least amount. Yeah, this is I guess the tool kind of crib.
Yeah.
When I worked 10 years with my dad, and one thing we bumped heads a lot on just putting things back. And what a difference that makes. And that was one thing that would always drive me nuts. And why
you would and he wouldn't.
I would and he wouldn't.
Got it.
Which was a reason why we have a magnitude of tooling for a small shop. When I took over in 2014 and I went through all the tooling, I counted, I believe, 24 face mills.
24 face mills?
Yeah, we pretty much had 2 machines. Why do you need 24 face mills?
Holy cow. Wow.
Yeah, so, and it's just, if things aren't put back, you don't know you have it.
Yep.
And what do? Pick up your supplier and you buy another one, right? Because you've got a rush job. And that continued to happen, right? So one of my big things, and it's still a work process. I'm a one-man shop, and it's not always this clean. When things get crazy, I'm just doing what I got to do. But having a place for things and just knowing where they are, like my thing's always been, you should be able to find something in 30 seconds or less.
Yeah. Without stressing, like without it being
and when you don't find it in 30 seconds or less, if it takes even a minute, I start getting upset about it, which is just like,
So show us some, if you don't mind. You have a lot of tooling, but it doesn't seem there's that much.
This is a shrink fit. Once I got that machine, I got that from I think you've got the same from Maritool. Yeah. And it's great. I mean, I don't shrink tools every single day, but when you need to, it's quick and it's easy for it. I got
card here. I think Amish was the one that originally turned me on. This is amazing. We just did a video on it.
Yeah, it's probably the best $120 I think I've ever spent. I never saw the fascination with it until I started doing a lot of insert tooling.
Yeah.
And just double checking it. It's just going from here,
Yeah.
going here and checking it out is great. And this is the one Lista cabinet I have where I'm slowly working on on a system.
Okay.
And
So you label each thing, not with a brand or EDP, but just the description.
just what it is.
Got
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yep.
And it's still a bit of a work, a bit in progress. Most of these are shallower bins. They don't work for everything. So like these ones here are 3D printed.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I 3D print, and I've put them there
You
so
see
you can
this?
kind of get inside here.
Ed, you see this? This is a good idea.
Yeah, that.
Look at that. 3D printed shallow bin with dividers in it.
Oh, perfect.
Love that.
Yeah, so some of them are you know, like 1/4 inch 3 flute, I have a lot more, and there's not like a double-sided shallow bin, so I
Right.
just made slightly wider ones.
Yeah.
And all I've done is I've just made it in Fusion, and I just made the size
Scale it.
parametric. So you just, I need this size, you type it in, boom, and go print it,
Right.
and it's great. So that's most of my 3 flute, which I would have to say like 90-95% is aluminum.
Yeah.
Is all I'm machining here. So slowly getting into a little bit more of the kind of the 4 flutes stuff.
So you organize it by flute count.
Yeah, I
kind
kept
of.
most of my 3 flutes here. This is almost all my 4 flutes.
Interesting.
For like the smaller stuff. This is getting into some of the bigger 4 flute stuff as well. Yeah, there's some.
It's not a tool you see every day.
Yeah, and some of this are old stuff that my dad would just get custom ground for a job, and then it gets used once and sits inside the drawer. Same thing, just I'm slowly moving my taps. They're in another one here,
Yep.
bringing everything here. Putting
You're a
the-
big fan of the Nachi taps, right? Maybe you
Yeah,
talk
they're
about
all the form taps. Most of these ones, because I do aluminum, these are they're DLT coated.
that. Oh yeah,
So take a
it's
look
the
at that.
diamond-like coating. Interesting.
Yeah.
It just
I mean-
lasts forever. In
Yeah, and
aluminum, right?
aluminum. Yeah, and again, I don't do big production, but
Yeah.
sometimes once you just use one product and it works great, you just want to keep using it. I have moved over to using the Sandvik ones as well, and they're great as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I've noticed as well. They seem to have a longer shank on their taps.
Yes.
I don't know why.
I think it has to do with the Din and Anzi thing, where
Oh, yeah.
I believe that's what it is. I don't fully know like the big differences between those, but yeah, Balix is really good. I've used quite a bit of Balix. That they make the nice when you want really long taps
Yeah.
to get into an area like.
Yep.
the-
Well, so
the
that's
stuff-
funny. We actually had a job where we just did it, and I bought one of these off of MSE, a
Okay,
Balix Baylights,
yeah.
and I was disappointed because the diameter right here that you would expect to be relieved was the exact opposite.
Oh yeah,
We had to do a clearance hole, so we found a different one that wasn't.
that was all the way
was true
necked
relief,
all the way
yeah,
down,
exactly.
right? Yeah, and then moving on into some more indexable stuff. And again, to be honest, I don't do enough steel to really use a lot of this.
Yeah.
Back when my dad was doing a lot of machining on the VF7, we were doing a lot of big steel parts,
Yeah.
and we used indexables all the time.
Simply because inserts would wear, so you could rotate them.
Yeah.
Cheaper cost per edge, et cetera.
And just, I mean, you know, when you want to reach, and then my dad would just throw it on the lathe, and he would just turn it down for clearance.
No,
Yeah, he
really?
would literally just. If you look at a majority of this is the old tooling I don't use. It's all turned down for just clearance,
yeah.
and he would just throw.
It's actually very refreshing to be in a shop without a lathe.
Yeah. It's my manual lathe's actually in the fab shop because I didn't want it in here.
It's Amish is a very good machinist, and he constantly taunts me with the surface finishes that he gets. And one of the tools that he uses is I call it a Sandvik 590, but you call it the Century Mill. I think it's the
Same
legacy
thing.
name.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But on aluminum, with that tool, the inserts will last literally years.
Yeah,
Perhaps
I
not if you're
changed
using it every day.
the old one in that machine. I changed after 2 years.
And you're cutting once a week with it, or
Sometimes I'm cutting like all day long with it,
Yeah.
depending on what I'm doing.
They just
but
last a long time.
It's not every single day,
Sure.
granted, but I mean, I had a job where it was running, 4 or 5 days just nonstop of just material removal, and it's 2 years. I
Yeah.
finally decided because it looked like it was wearing out.
Where-
Yeah. It probably could have lasted as a roughing tool, but yeah.
whereas like the steel impeller, you'll do like 4 or 5 hours, and then you
Yeah.
gotta rotate inserts.
Yeah, so this is some of the tooling we're using on that. So I start with a 3-inch. This is an
Holy
R300,
Wow.
and this one's it's got to get rotated. So these are worn inserts, But
That's
that's
6 sides per insert though?
6 sides
Yeah,
per insert, yeah.
amazing.
So this one's 7 inserts.
Holy
And I have 2 of those tools. They run for 1 hour each.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have sister tools, identical.
Sister tool, yeah,
got
yeah.
it.
And then, so those run for an hour each. And then I go down to a 42 mil. The inserts are loose because it's just my knowledge. I'll change them.
Oh, that's an interesting way.
If I'm coming here and I'm going to get pulled away, I'll just loosen them off
Real
real
quick.
quick. I mean, you can look at it and tell if they're worn out, but I know,
No, sure.
I know I
Interesting.
need to change that for
Yeah,
sure.
I like
And
that.
so this one, same thing, R300, smaller inserts, 6-sided, and I can get up to 90-minute life on these ones,
Huh.
but I usually change them at 1 hour.
Got
There's
it.
2 tool paths that run for 90 minutes each, and then after that, they're every hour.
Got it.
And so
But that's awesome because I'm going to take a wild guess that insert, an individual insert is probably $20 or less.
15 Canadian.
Right, and you're getting 6 edges per insert.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Exactly. It's good. I mean, granted, the holder and the body adds cost to it, but I mean, you can look. I've done 13 impellers so far. You can see the wear
Yeah, just from the chips.
chips already on.
That's amazing. You run them dry?
No, I run flood for everything.
Flood. Not
Sorry,
through
through coolant.
Through coolant, you do.
Through coolant,
These
yeah.
have through coolant? Oh, they do have the ports.
Yeah, they go through coolant,
That's cool.
and that's the HSK has ports that you have to install for
Got
through coolant. Yeah, almost everything gets through coolant except the finishing tools, the ball mills.
That's dry?
No, sorry, it's not through coolant, it's flood coolant.
Well, oh, they don't support it.
Yeah, they
Sure,
don't
sure,
support
sure.
it, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So it pretty much the 16 mil balls do the finishing, the ones.
Oh, the ones we just pulled out?
So this
That's
does
beautiful.
these you do the walls and the floor, and then
These are not $14.
those are not $14. Those are about $180 each.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
That's amazing.
But one of those will run for 4 hours, and the other one will run for 5 hours.
Holy cow.
So they run.
They earn their keep?
Yeah, you can see the wear on them. You can definitely see there is wear on them,
Not
but
bad.
it's not too bad. It's on the tip and then on the
Yeah,
edge. Yeah.
right. Was that your first time using this product line?
No, I have 20 mil balls. This is 16 mil. I've used 20
Oh,
mil
the big
ball.
one. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Used 20 ball in aluminum, and then to get in the fillets, just gar end mills.
Yeah.
This is their VRX series,
Mm-hmm.
and one of these get used in every tool, and these get about 5.5 hour of runtime.
On the impellers?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So it'll do an hour and 20 minutes of finishing, and then it gets used on the next impeller for roughing.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I
it's done.
swap it out again.
Yeah, sure.
And so
Can you show me the holder that that's in?
Yeah, it's if you go over there.
You like the Celos?
Yeah, the Celos part of it I don't use
Okay.
a whole lot. If it's the Siemens control is the main thing.
Okay.
The Celos side, I think if I was running maybe multiple machines, a lot of unmanned, then yes, I would probably use it a lot more. But that's one right there.
Oh, cool. That's the Heimer?
That's Woody Erickson.
Okay.
Yeah. I use a mix of tooling here. I'm not for with holders.
Oh, so there's the 300, so
Yep.
the Sampa 300.
Yeah,
There's that.
And that's also a 300. So after the 42 mil, this is a 32 mil.
Look at that relief.
Yeah, and that one cuts for 3.5 hours.
That's incredible. And that's in a Sandvik milling chuck?
Yep.
Yeah, wow, that's
Yep.
beefy. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's very interesting figuring out the timing on what an insert can do. Like that was a big process of.
Sandvik has those tool life estimators on their website.
They do, but I think when you're getting to, where you're letting an insert run for 3 hours, it's like, how do you know? Like you can check your load meter and stuff. You can see
Sure.
when it's going up, but I mean, you tell me if that insert looks like it has 3 hours of use on it. Like
Microscope,
there's nothing. You have to use a microscope,
Yeah.
and under a microscope, because when I go to index it, I can't even tell. I'm like, what side do I use? So that particular tool is one of the reasons I bought that microscope, because I will go there and I'll take a Sharpie and I'll mark with it which ones I've used, because you can't see with your naked eye. But the microscope you can tell. Like it's crazy.
That's one of the things that's really scared me, and I've been bitten by it, is you think you're okay, and then if an insert cracks and then it damages the soft body, that could be a $700-800 mistake. It could ruin your workpiece. Like, that's not fun.
It is. Yeah, you can totally do that. And that's why with that particular job, I've made sure I run it to the time and I change it.
Yeah.
A lot of times I look at the insert and I'm like, I can get another hour, or I'm gonna have, no, just change it.
Right.
Change it, press start, go for coffee, come back, and know that it's running when you come back, or it's finished when you come back.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. Most of my Cat 40 tooling is here.
Oh, right. So really just for the house.
For the house. Yeah. Honestly, everything on the red rack is almost everything I use. All the stuff down below, all the stuff on that rack just almost never gets used. I mean, this is some old, you know. But again, stuff that my dad would run. And then there's some of the bigger carbide that.
Do you use this? Oh, we got drawers tipped.
Yeah, that will happen on the way.
I don't want the thing to tip over.
No, it won't tip over. It's not a Matsura. Sorry, Phil. There's a lot of.
Oh my God!
It's just stuff that, again, like a lot of stuff that my dad would use.
Look at that gnarly tool.
Yeah.
The heck is that?
For undercutting that he made once.
Oh my God!
Whew. And funny enough, I wouldn't doubt a tool like this my dad would have just taken to and then thrown in the house and just away you go. And it's like hand programming some of this stuff. It's just, but that's really about it tooling wise. I mean, it's not like a crazy amount of tooling.
So why did you, I remember we talked about this, why did you end up buying a Pearson? You were running a job where you were going to try to...
I honestly had bought it and the Pearson's been sitting there. I feel bad. It's literally been sitting there. I'm looking at hiring someone.
Got it.
A student, and bringing a student on. And I've never really hired anyone before. And it's very interesting.
It's a big change in your shop culture, and
there's a lot to it. So trying to find the right person that I can work well with and that they can work well with me is a big thing. So I have one production job that comes up every now and then, and I thought the Pearson system would work great for it. Just something where it's in the 400 or 500 parts. So something like that, rather than setting up 5 or 6 vices. Which you can do on the VF7, but just the timing to do that, whereas you get the Pearson pallet system and you drop it on and load up 20, 30 parts, it's a no-brainer, right? It really is a no-brainer. I just trying to find some time to get that set up.
Well, and it's on paper or in CAD, setting up 7 vices and having them be identical sounds great, but the reality is every little soft gel is a little bit different, and are you probing in each one, and what happens if one of them makes a mistake and you've got to go rework a job? Like, it's not as... it's not a workflow I usually go for. I much rather do small batches that flow through.
And again, it's a big machine. You've got lots of travel, and it's slow, right? It's 320 inches a minute, right? So it's slow. So when you're going 84 inches, whereas on a Pearson system, you've got 30 parts. It's travel time, right? It's not, some machines like this one, you're not worrying about it. This machine, travel time makes a lot of time. So if the tool's doing this in a 1 by 2 feet envelope, I mean, it makes a huge difference. So,
is it still the original spindle?
No, we've replaced it
once,
maybe twice.
Okay,
I know definitely once.
Yeah,
it probably will need to be replaced eventually.
You like having a big X machine, though, huh?
Yeah. Again, it's honestly between this machine and this machine. I mean, the reason the vices are off. I'm setting up. Actually, let me take you down here. And you won't fit this on a VF2.
Holy cow!
These parts are going on there soon. So.
Wow, just foam board or this?
Yeah, Wren shape.
Wren shape.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wren shape 501.
No kidding.
And they're big molds.
Yeah.
For a helicopter, actually, for the door panels.
Cool.
So
that's awesome.
That's going to be going on there, but I need to use the vacuum and make some type of vacuum system because I do not want that
snowing
all
in here.
over inside the machine.
Right.
So another thing I've got to kind of work out on how to get some long tubing or something with the vacuum and connected there, because there's quite a bit of material removed from that. It's a simple part, but
so do you buy a lot of material saw cut, or you use this guy a lot?
We've had this one again since my dad started the shop. It's great. It's 97, I believe, but it's automatic, so you could set it up and you could set it up to an auto feeds and auto cuts. So it's definitely it's great. More and more, I prefer just to buy it from suppliers. Suppliers are adding value service, and you know, I made 400 copper parts at one point, and like cutting copper, 400 pieces. My supplier charged me $75 to cut it.
The whole thing.
Yeah, I'm like that, and no chips, no nothing. Comes in a box, clean.
Done. Yeah,
it's a
Right to
no-brainer,
load
right?
machine.
It's gonna take me longer than an hour to cut 400 pieces, and then copper gets the coolant grows.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot more that
It's
comes
a
along with
$200
that.
blade if you happen to do something
Exactly,
to damage
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you.
But I mean, I still use it. Probably gets used a couple times a week, and the fab shop uses it whenever they have big production.
You want to show us your metrology? Height gauge? How you check parts?
Yes.
Oh, you got one of the Dave Precise blocks too?
He gave that to me at IMTS.
That's awesome.
You should give that to give it to Ed.
Ed, we need you to wear this to the event.
Yeah, this is my messy little inspection room. Lately, it doesn't get used a whole lot just because it's too small and I'm doing big parts that I just can't fit inside here. But yeah, I've got just a brown sharp micro height. It's nice. It's an older one, but it's great. I mean, once you use one of these, you never want to go back to using hand tooling.
This was that day at IMTS. We were looking at these because I didn't realize how, especially if you know what you're doing, what you can do with one of these,
and how fast you can
Yes.
do it. Like it's incredibly fast to use one of these. Yours, I believe, is automatic. Like you push a button and it goes and touches automatically. So this one's you still have to do it by hand. So there's a little bit of finesse with that, but there's lights that tell you what it's doing. It's air powered, so you can slide it around.
that's cool. Look at these pictures. This is your father's work?
Yeah, actually, I actually did a little bit of work with this. We made all these aluminum brackets that you can see on the side that actually connect onto the.
Do you know what plane this is?
I believe this was definitely Boeing work. I'm
Okay.
95% sure this was Boeing work, but yeah,
cool.
it was that panel there, those three up there that we did. And I think the top one's up there that we did over there.
Cool.
Those are big aluminum parts that, again, we did all in the VF7 that really would have been nice to do on the DMG, but we're talking back in 2003, 2004, I think, from where those ones were done.
And so what's next? Because I think you guys are wrapping up your final days in this shop.
Yeah.
Or home stretching it.
Yeah, probably by next year I'll be moving out of here into a bigger shop. Hopefully, if work continues the way that it's going right now, probably have to bring in another 5-axis, I think. And for me, it only makes sense to get more tools and pallet changer.
Automation.
Yeah. The biggest thing is actually just having different setups on the machine.
Right.
Being able to go from a vise to a dovetail without having to take it on and off. I mean, just to be able to push a button and bring...
So not lights out, not higher volume, literally just not having to tear down.
I mean, that's been my biggest issue with the DMG right now is when I want to swap between jobs is taking something off and putting another one on. And it's fine if you're doing small parts, but when you're doing big parts, you're having, there's a lot of different fixturing, bigger fixturing you have to do with that, right? And if you can have that set up on different pallets and bring that in.
Yeah.
And then there's also the lights out, you know, customers know you have it, then they'll want to send you more work because you can maybe discount the rate because you're running,
Right.
you know, and you're get more work in that way. So, yeah.
That's cool. Look at that. Oh, you got the bloom laser. So you're allowed to do this much with the door open, huh?
Probing?
You didn't override it.
No, but you see what I got to do? There's a kill switch here, and you have to keep that down at all times. So they never want you to have a hand in the machine while you're moving it. So you always have to keep this one down here.
Oh, that's your datums, the little edge on the back left?
Yeah, when I machined dovetail, I cut it square on the outside.
Yep.
The first block that I put in was bigger than the next two. And I ran them and I didn't even think about checking. So that's why it didn't even clean up on this side here at all. But I modeled the stock infusion so I know what size, where the mill should be. So as long as I put the riser in the right place and the block into the vices in the right place, the center should be based on half
Yes.
of what that edge is. Should be.
This is my one gripe that I'm trying to tell my Haas
That you can't do
contact to fix, is being able to probe at B or A, forget this is for you, A, anything other than 0. Oh, I like that riser. Homemade?
Everything.
What shop is this, Amish? Adjustable runout?
No, it's some type of collet holder, believe it or not. Yeah,
You have no idea?
it was dirt cheap on. I didn't use it. I didn't buy it at all to run it. I just wanted to see it because I've never seen anything like that. It was like $20, and
I
I'm
don't
like,
understand what it is.
well, that's exactly what it is. It's like,
what's this do?
I have no idea to this day. It's a brand. It says on the side.
Play with it.
Figure it out. Honestly, like I'd love to know.
I've seen some that do have a dial on the runout, but
It's like an orbital.
But
it's like a more jig grinder head.
Yeah, it's crazy. Beauty. It's like right bang on. It's all located within the bow. And the way I put this block in the vices is when I did the dovetail, I bored a 1/4 inch hole. And I put a pin in there, and if you look, the pin locates, you can see it locates against the vise, and I modeled that in.
Oh, look at that. That works. That's your
So I
stop.
put it in there and stop it against it, so I'm putting the block in the right place.
That's great.
And I mean, it's
I like that.
within 1,000. It came out right. The weight on this thing's like 200 pounds. Like you could sit on this thing.
I bought one and returned it.
Seriously?
I couldn't get used to it.
Oh, jeez. See, like,
Mission accomplished.
see, how do I even do this? So that slot was used to cut that.
Oh, wow.
This is just a fixture here. But
Yeah, right.
This,
Oh, that's
this is
sick.
a tail camera mount for that Princess helicopter.
Yeah,
this
helicopter.
is a smaller one.
That's cool. Beautiful. One and done, right? The whole
One
thing?
and done, yeah.
Amazing. What's the cycle time?
3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. You obviously post over the network.
Sorry?
You post over a network, obviously.
Yeah, it's Ethernet connected to my router. Yeah. That computer's wireless,
Oh,
but it puts into a Dropbox folder that I still have to copy it over. So I've got the Z2 here. So I just bring it over here.
so if anybody who knows Siemens could run this machine.
Yeah, because realistically, this part here is all the Siemens
Siemens,
part,
yeah,
right?
okay.
And this part here is the CLO side. Probe always goes back in the same port.
Really?
Which is, I have it set to do that.
Okay, but other tools are just random?
Yeah.
Oh, we're using the Century Mill, huh? The 590?
Yeah, I just want to check, this part is stocked a little bit higher. I mean, this machine can do way, way more than this. Like I could put it to the max if it wanted. You can see I'm barely pushing it, but you know, for me in the end, it's when you're doing 3 parts, how much are you going to save time-wise? 20 minutes? And
Wow.
what do you run into the chance of blowing an insert, ruining a tool, ruining your part? For me, that part's never worth it to.
Does the part itself relax? Because you're removing so much material?
This is M1 aluminum. So I didn't even know it's an M1 aluminum. It's a cast aluminum. It's very much like Mike 6. So if you look at the chips,
Yeah.
it's quite a bit different than 60, 61.
Yeah.
And
Softer? Or
it is quite soft, yeah. Aluminum's so hard to tell like what's soft and what's not soft. When people say 70, 75 is hard, I don't really notice a difference. But this material will not move on you.
well, not
No.
stable.
Yeah. So for this type of part, it's like there's quite a few, like in the dead center of the part, there's a 1,000 tolerance hole.
Really?
Right in the dead center, which you need an 8-inch long tool to get to. Woo. But it held it like
What tool
perfectly
do you
fine.
use to get to that?
That long one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 265 mil one. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was fast.
I don't like rapiding
That was fast.
when the big block's on it. You can hear it's louder because the part's now tilted.
Tell me that's an emergency exit.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Oh.
in case we get stuck in there.
When you buy a machine of this caliber, it also comes with an official DMG ladder. The separate system is your coolant filter?
Yeah, and to give you additional coolant.
Ah, volume.
So, yeah, volume. Yeah, so you have 600 liters. Second start. Yeah. You didn't push that, did you? It's this one here.
Come on.
Yeah,
What's
that's
that
the power
do?
button. Did you really push?
Yes!
No, it's this
The
one.
green cycle start right above the E-stop.
No, it's
That is the weakest cycle start button I've ever seen in my life. Are you serious?
Yeah. Whatever. I thought you were joking there for a second.
Does yours have the dongle, the like lockout dongle? Yeah.
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 Yeah, you can pull it out right away and then it'll.
What happened? Oh, now you can't. Hilarious.
Yeah.
This is the Sandvik RAL 90, and this whole thing is an integral tool. So HSK all the way down, and those inserts are original to the when you got the machine 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, probably should insert. I probably should rotate them.
A big thanks to Amish for all the hospitality. It's been really fun getting to know him and see him grow, first from the Haas machines to the DMG, and I think next he's thinking about automation. Does he hire that next employee? Where does he go with this business, which is such a common thing for small job shops? He's a really sharp guy. Even if he does torment me about service finishes, make sure to check him out on Instagram and follow him to see where he goes with this. Otherwise, folks, hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. Take care. See you soon.